Okay, let's just jump right in. We're going to unpack one of the wildest connections in all of modern manga, a secret that was, believe it or not, hiding in plain sight for years.
You know, for years, fans of the creator Atsushi Ōkubo have been pointing out these weird links between his two huge series, Fire Force and Soul Eater. It all kind of started as a fan theory, right? But the truth turned out to be so much bigger than anyone could have possibly imagined.
I mean, on the surface, they seem totally different. You've got Fire Force. It's this dark fantasy about firefighters who control fire, fighting this terrifying plague of spontaneous human combustion. And then there's Soul Eater, this super quirky, kind of gothic action series about students at a magic academy who hunt evil souls. They sound worlds apart, don't they?
Well, not so fast. I mean, sure, both have that same amazing art style and that classic mix of really intense action with some seriously bizarre, off-the-wall humor. But as fans started to dig in, they realized the connections went way, way deeper than just the look and feel.
So this whole fan investigation really kicked off with just a few key pieces of evidence. And we're not talking about simple little nods or Easter eggs here. These were clues that were so specific, there's just no way they could be a coincidence.
And it really all started with this one image, that iconic, creepy, laughing moon from Soul Eater suddenly showing up in the sky in Fire Force. This was not some tiny detail in the background. It was front and center, a deliberate, impossible-to-ignore reference that basically set the entire fandom on fire.
And of course, fans spotted it immediately. You can just imagine. Online forums, Reddit, everywhere just exploded. The theories were flying. Was this just a fun little shout-out? Or was the creator trying to tell us something huge, something really profound about how these two worlds connect?
And pretty soon, other things started popping up that made the whole thing undeniable. Suddenly, the legendary sword Excalibur makes an appearance. Then you have characters in Fire Force starting to use a power called Soul Resonance. I mean, that's a core mechanic from Soul Eater. And to top it all off, this cosmic force they call Adola starts being described in a way that sounds suspiciously, and I mean suspiciously, like Soul Eater's whole concept of madness.
But the final confirmation, the smoking gun, it didn't come from another little clue or reference. Nope. The answer was laid bare in the absolutely cataclysmic, universe-shattering finale of the Fire Force manga.
You see, the entire plot of Fire Force is building towards stopping this event called the Great Cataclysm. The bad guys, this group called the White Clad, their whole goal is to kickstart this apocalypse and literally turn the entire planet into a sun, ending all existence in a giant sea of fire.
So to save everyone, our hero, Shinra Kusakabe, had to do way more than just win a fight. By resonating his soul with his family, he basically becomes a god. And with that power, he first stops the world from being completely annihilated, and then he does the unthinkable. He rebuilds reality, from scratch, creating a brand new world with a brand new fundamental rule: death.
And yeah, this new world he made, it was fundamentally different from the one that almost burned away. You could say Shinra basically reprogrammed the entire universe's operating system.
So here's the really crucial part. Shinra didn't get rid of evil. He couldn't. Instead, he made a trade. He swapped one existential threat for another. He got rid of the random, uncontrollable terror of spontaneous combustion and replaced it with the chaos of madness and Kishin souls. It's still dangerous for sure, but it's a threat you can at least fight.
See, the old god of the Fire Force world, the Evangelist, was just this entity of pure despair. So Shinra imagined something better to be a guardian for his new world. He created Lord Death, that goofy but powerful figure we all know, and in doing so, he laid the entire foundation for Soul Eater's lore, including the whole Death Weapon Meister Academy.
But wait, it gets even crazier. This new world wasn't just an empty planet. In what has to be one of the most stunning twists ever, we find out it's populated by the descendants of the Fire Force cast, both the heroes and the villains.
Yeah, the manga's final chapter literally shows us the family trees. That super arrogant Rekka Hoshimiya, he's the ancestor of Blackstar. And Arthur Boyle, the guy who thinks he's a knight, he's the very first weapon meister, starting that whole lineage. But the most shocking one, the thrill-seeking villain Inka, she becomes the very first Wish, the ancestor of their entire race.
And this doesn't all happen overnight. This new reality, it unfolds over centuries. We're talking more than 800 years passing. So Shinra's big act of creation wasn't an ending, it was a new beginning. It gave the world time for a whole new history, new kinds of magic, and of course, new heroes to be born. So, what does this all mean? It's simple, and it's huge. Fire Force is the literal, canonical origin story for the entire Soul Eater universe. It just recontextualizes everything. That quirky, fun, stylized world of Soul Eater, it's not just some fantasy world, it's a post-apocalyptic world, one that was born from the ashes of a reality that was nearly wiped out by flames and total despair.
It's just an incredible revelation when you think about it. For that world, a reality filled with madness was actually the happy ending. Humanity's complete and total extinction was traded for a life of vibrant, colorful struggle. Shinra didn't create a perfect world, but he created a world where a new generation, people like Maka and Soul, would at least have a chance to fight for it. It really makes you see the whole story in a new light, doesn't it?